Welcome to Force of Light Entertainment. I'm your host, Michelle, and with me, as always, is my co-host, my sister, Natalie.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, and those of you watching on YouTube, this would have been episode 50 for our podcast, which we've already uploaded because of last night.
Technical difficulties.
We recorded 2 times, and then it magically was erased. So that's why we were like, you know what? We'll just come do a live one and have a chat with you guys in the chat and upload the podcast and do it this way.
It's more fun with the community anyway.
It is. So this way we can have more of a discussion. And those of you who are watching this, whether live or later, if you have not yet, we encourage you to please subscribe to our channel if you like kind of nerdy content or just discussing entertainment in general. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, especially if you're in the chat or if you are watching later.
And I want to say hello to Michael.
Yes, let's give a quick shout out to everyone here thus far. Hello, Michael from 2Med2 Star Wars. Hello, Blue Harvest Vintage Toys.
Hello.
Hello, all the way in England to Michael Campbell.
Hello. Good to see you, Michael.
Yes, hello to Mark Shabby Geek. And yes, several of you. And 3 of you I know. If you guys haven't subscribed to 2Med2 Star Wars Network, do that. Also, Blue Harvest Vintage Toys and Mark Shabby Geek. Go check these guys out too.
Excellent channels.
Yes, excellent stuff. And it all covering Star Wars, which we are here today to talk about. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I think we've got several of you guys here.
Very nice.
Yes, so for those of you who just arrived, we tried to record, we did actually record and we're successful with that and uploaded it, but we tried to video like we usually do this discussion, and we tried twice and it magically disappeared.
It was not working out. We were very tired last night.
So we were like, we'll just do a live discussion with this. So thank you for everyone in the chat, and we're excited to see what you guys have to say. So we'll dive in. And of course, today we will be discussing Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, The Passenger. So join the conversation and let's talk some Mandalorian. All right, we will start with our initial thoughts. And Natalie, what were your initial thoughts of this episode?
Okay, I thought it was a very fun episode, honestly. The spider sequence was my favorite.
Yeah.
Really had me on the edge of my seat. I really love that. I love Baby Yoda going up to the little spider to eat it, which was a little gross, but just the visuals I thought were really good, really cool. I can see people thinking this is kind of a standalone episode, but I do think it will tie in later. But as my daughter said, from a 13-year-old's perspective, it is kind of, it's an adventure, this episode. And I think it's a fun adventure to go along on.
Well, and stand me if I need to be corrected, but Izzy, your daughter, she said this was like one of her favorite episodes.
Yes, she actually said it was like kept her attention the most out of all the ones she's seen. And she's seen the whole first season. Yes,
and Blue Harvest says he loved it. And I can tell you guys that I really loved this episode. It was fun. It was more of a standalone type of episode, but it was so unique is the word I would use. And it was like a fun ride, almost like a video game at times.
Yes.
And we'll kind of get into this later. There was some 80s vibe that I can't fully put my fingers on. So maybe you guys in the chat can put your fingers on it for us and flesh that out, what I'm trying to say with that. But I just thought it was a lot of fun. And I can already hear people saying, Michael Campbell says, great episode 2.
We agree.
And yes, tons. Yes, Blue Harvest, tons of the child in this episode. I mean, so much Baby Yoda, and just like in such a humorous, fun way.
So cute.
Yes, and I truly did. I really loved this episode, and I can already hear the critics. In fact, I've already kind of seen it on Twitter of people saying that this is just a filler episode. And I know last season with episode or chapter 2, people said the same thing. And when I first watched it, I was kind of like, with episode chapter 2 in season 1, I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that. And then as I thought about it, I was like, no, like it's critical to the story. Yes, what Blue Harvest says, character development. And chapter 2 is critical. It sets up chapter 3. And I have a feeling that I just kind of feel the word I want to give to people that kind of want to quickly judge these episodes is patience. Like I think we see even with chapter 9, how they tied it back to chapter 5, which people complained about just kind of being a random episode. I think we need to see that they laid the groundwork and eventually, like nothing's lost in The Mandalorian. Like they will come back to it and it will have some form of significance. And even if it's just for the point of what Blue Harvest said of character development. What we got? Video.
There was definitely video game vibes for sure.
That's what we just said. Yes, Salacious or Rum. It was totally, yes. Ralph McQuarrie concept. Yeah. What else we got here? Now you want me to take it?
Yeah, I think I'm messing it up.
That was the high chapter 9. Oh, yeah. I mean, and there's going to be different feelings, and obviously, I mean, there's no right or wrong.
Okay, and that's what I will say.
Yes.
Like on the other side of things, I think you were kind of like, we got Boba Fett at the end of chapter 9, and you're like, okay, let's keep the momentum. Where's this going? And then we go to this totally different, planet, and it does seem like different. But it's like once I kind of, because I kind of saw some negative things on Twitter before I'd watched it yet. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let that bother me. And then I was kind of surprised to see how much when I got into the episode, I actually enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely. And I just don't think it's filler. And hello to Pizza and Parsix.
Hey, Pizza and Parsix.
Good to see you guys. Let's see, Michael. I think the next episode will have Sabine. We're going to get into that because I think that's a possibility for sure. And then, yes, not filler. I agree. I don't think it was filler. I don't think anything is just filler. Like that's what we said. And we probably will say different things than we said on the podcast version we released. But we said that on that it's just, I feel like we've gone so used in our society to like a Stranger Things story, which is basically one continual story. If you missed one chapter, you'd be lost of the story.
Yeah.
Everything, it just keeps working together like a movie. And this show isn't necessarily that way. And I feel people are judging it because it's not. But we've had shows like this for years where there are some episodes that are more truly continual story. And then there are others that are more an adventure or case of the week. And in this case, an adventure of the week. And I think it's fun. I think especially I think it's so appealing even to younger crowds.
Definitely. Like when you said that, I was just thinking of Izzy, my daughter, like her saying this is one of her favorite episodes ever. And, and we'll discuss, or we can right now. It's like, I just told her there were scenes in this with Baby Yoda and in the spider patch, I guess we'll call it, and stuff like that. I literally thought watching it, I would have like loved this as a little kid. Like there's just something magical about it, even though it turns scary quickly thereafter. But it's just, I think this show, we have to remember, it does so much appeal to both kids and adults.
Yes. Yeah, it does. Definitely. So we'll begin to get into that. And I think we're already getting into some theories here of what could be, because we'll get into that later. And is the thing a scary movie? Those of you watching
The Thing, I don't think I've seen that,
because I that's why I'm wondering. You can type it in the chat, because the cave scene, when I say it had horror elements, not in the sense of scary,
but it was enough to kind of make you hold your breath.
Yeah, but it was like out of a bad dream is what I would say. So it was
like in the best way possible.
Yes. And Mark Chevy, yeah, don't get me wrong, I like this episode. So we'll kind of begin to move in. So, of course, opening scene. And so it did pick up back on Tatooine. And we see, of course, those kind of thugs that are out there waiting for them. And kind of moving forward, of course, they trip them up. But I absolutely love, was it not adorable? Did Baby Yoda not look adorable, guys, when that guy had the knife to his throat and he's just looking like, Mando, please do something here. Like, come on, man. Like do something for me. And
I like how Mando is like, if there's a mark left on him, there's not a place, I can't find you, or something like that. Like Daddy Mando taking over the situation.
Yeah, it was like that protective father. Like, I will kill you if you touch that child. And I mean, just so adorable when Baby Yoda runs back to Mando
And puts his arms up. It's
Yes.
so sweet.
and then so funny when Mando, of course, the guy won the jetpack, just boom, and the guy goes up in the air, and Baby Yoda looks back, and Mando's like, "What?" I mean, it was a funny scene for sure.
Blue Harvest. So I think it's on our podcast edition. I called him a little stinker.
Yeah,
And
she
I
gets
got,
made fun of.
I got
heavily.
made fun of hardcore, but I'm like, he's a little stinker this episode, but in the best way.
He is. He's a lot of fun.
And yes, Michael Campbell, I really like that jetpack. It's like, not only did he get Baby Yoda, but he got his jetpack back, of course.
Yeah, he did. It was so fun.
I'm gonna have to check out The Thing. Michelle doesn't so much, but I actually like some horror movies. Like, I like to be a little scared sometimes.
Yeah, so it is a horror. So you guys are kind of seeing what we're saying in that. So that seems fun, and I knew her name last night as we did the podcast. What's her name?
Gosh, yeah, you
In
said
real life.
it. She was in Kimmy Schmidt on Netflix.
Yeah, I just went brain dead on that. But anyways, the character that is in on Tatooine. Why did I forget her name?
I'm starting more and more to think of her as like Baby Yoda's shiesty grandmother.
Yeah, she kind of is. And of course she sets up the frog person, the frog woman, for them to
Who she'd bet her life on that she had met, 10 minutes earlier.
that was pretty funny. That kind of cracked me up, honestly. And then we kind of get into immediately where Baby Yoda, where he looks at the eggs, and just immediately they do that. And that's where, if you guys can kind of pinpoint, it's like this version of a Star Wars 80s song, like music, like when Baby Yoda sees the eggs and he's just so enamored, like it was love at first sight when he sees those eggs. And it was
like the look hysterical. Of love was in his eyes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like you could hear, and even the music they used, to me, did have an kind of an 80s sound to it.
And something I'd said on the podcast, it's like, how Star Wars characters, they get their special music, but it's like this episode, Baby Yoda got his own special music for him and his hunger for these eggs, or for any food. Anytime he was hungry and was like eyeing some food, that kind of 80s cool music played. So it was his own love music for the food.
He said Baby Yoda being very excited or very strange. He was really loving those eggs, Michael. And it made sense though, because it was a fun callback to episode 2, where of course he eats the frog, just whole, just gobbles it up.
And I didn't put that together till I watched it the second time with Michelle, and then I kind of felt dumb, but it's like, oh, because they're frog eggs, essentially, because she is, Mrs. Frog.
And it's even hysterical when the frog woman goes on the Razor Crest. You see little Baby Yoda like sprinting behind her. He was in love. And let's point out too, as they're grilling the dragon meat, Baby Yoda's just sitting there like drooling over this meat too. This was the episode of Baby Yoda wants food. Definitely. Like this is what that was.
Interesting. I'd like to know that theory.
That would be interesting. Yeah, we'll see.
Because and that goes back to maybe this is going to tie in somehow, like
incubating the eggs. Yeah, we'll see what they do with these eggs. It was definitely used for at the minimum. It was used for just sheer humor.
Yeah,
because it was very funny. Especially, I even laughed more, I think, the second time watching this. Like, it genuinely cracked me up.
Yeah.
So of course, then they get on and they can't use hyperspeed. Oh, it's Amy Sedaris.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy Sedaris. Her name came to me once I had time to think. I think her character adds. Like, I hope her character is a reoccurring character. Like, she adds.
She's a good, lighthearted character.
She is. Humorous, sneaky, but yet genuinely seems to like Mando and like the child.
Yeah,
so,
and though she's been, like I said, a little shysty, she does seem to have some sort of loyalty to Mando, certainly, and a genuine care for Baby Yoda.
Yes, definitely. So we kind of move into them on the ship, and this is where we get Baby Yoda in his full glory. And him, again, it's like a Star Wars version of 80s music that begins to play as he's walking. And it cracked me up, the little puppet, like how they move him back and forth as he walks.
So
and he's walking to those eggs. And we see he begins to kind of use the Force.
Yeah.
And of course, Mando ultimately goes down there and He's just gulping the eggs.
It's like, you're not supposed to eat those.
Yes, and even having Baby Yoda burp, that was almost like George Lucas prequel level humor.
Right.
Like it really was.
I think, didn't he do that in the first season some? Like he's a burper after he eats a bite of something.
Yes.
A big bite of something.
There we go. He's got it. Plays
Pelimoto.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
Very good.
Yes. But let's see, Salacious. Oh.
Salacious, what have you been saying in the chat?
They're calling you a dirty monkey. He is a dirty monkey, Salacious is. You gotta keep your eye on Salacious.
You gotta watch that one.
You do. So anyways, of course they and I just want to bring up again, I've said this multiple times, that the Mandalorian, okay, guys, another way we know they got a bigger budget, we're getting longer episodes.
Yes.
And that may be one of the reasons why the first season was shorter. They were spending so much money in the technology and how much Baby Yoda cost to make and things like that, that it was probably just budget, honestly, for the most part. And I think we now have had 2 episodes. One was almost an hour, around 52 minutes. And then this one was right around, I'd say 40 minutes or so. And I really hope...
keep it coming. Which I think they will at this point, being that the first 2 have been longer.
Yes, I hope that...
Hey, from a certain point of view.
Yes, hello. I'm sure it's Adam, from a certain point of view. Hello. And yeah, he already knows it's Adam. But anyways, yes, I hope that they stay in that at least 40 minutes and up mark, like between 40 and 55. I'd say that's kind of the sweet spot for the show. But then, what were you?
Oh, well, I was just going to say Roland's review saying that he reminded, he's a little bit like a gremlin, but we love him. It's kind of, I can see that. It's true. It's like he's a way cuter gremlin, in my opinion, but he does have some gremlin-like qualities at times.
He does. He definitely is a little gremlin-esque, for sure. And I will say, too, another thing that just, again, points to them getting a bigger budget is the fact like that when he is flying through the sky in the Razor Crest and the X-Wings are following him, like that was beautiful. Yeah. Like the CGI is just incredible in the season. And it just shows, I mean, it's like cinematic quality, the look of it. I mean, it looks as good as anything you see on like a Marvel something or a Star Wars movie. I mean, it's just fantastic CGI that they're using. And of course, they crash. And then we set up the ship being damaged. And of course, Baby Yoda, Mando can't find him. And where is he? He's with those eggs. He
is with his love.
He's getting, his newfound love. He's getting some more eggs, and Mando tells him no. Let's see what we got in the chat right here. Did you hear? Oh, I did. Yeah, there is that rumor, Michael. But anyways, he gets his eggs, and then it was so cute, guys, when Mando is trying to go to sleep, and little Baby Yoda pulls his cape over him and snuggles up next to Mando.
It's heartwarming stuff right there.
It was heartwarming. And then it made me laugh. It made me laugh when Mando was trying to fix the ship, and Baby Yoda kind of comes and makes a noise, and he's like, "Why don't you come up here and help me?" And he's just like, "No,
I'll do my own thing."
Yeah, and just walks off. I mean, he was trying to get Mando's attention, obviously. So then they enter into the cave, and as I said
where the real action begins.
Yeah, and as someone said earlier, that frog lady, she stripped it off pretty fast.
She got dressed really fast. She used her tongue, but still, I'm like, but how did you you use your tongue to snap it on that fast? I'm impressed.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And but anyways,
and I'm glad she did, because we did not want to see that.
No, it was kind of Steve Trevor-esque. Like her in that blue water. And then it was so funny.
Thank goodness she did not come up out of it.
No, none of us wanted to see that, guys. We did not.
We would never be the same.
No. And it was so funny that Mando again is helping her get the eggs. And Baby Yoda yet again is just going to go for it. And he's just like, no. And finally Baby Yoda's like, fine.
Have it your way.
And then we get the scene, Baby Yoda kind of walking through this ice cave. And Natalie, say what you said about that.
Well, that's what I said earlier. That was, to me, kind of like magical visuals. I just love that. And I could see myself as a kid loving that, it being something special, and kids today loving that. It's just that cool, his love for food, music playing, the love song to his food, little music in the background. So
It is kind of mysterious. Like,
yeah.
And do you guys in the chat, do you know what we're saying? Like that scene where he's walking through the cave, Baby Yoda is, and that kind of 80s sounding Star Wars music's playing. There was something about that, Natalie and I being 90s kids, it felt like something we would have watched in the early 90s.
Yeah.
That was maybe from the late 80s. Like
it's giving me some kind of deja vu of something from my childhood.
It is. And maybe you're right. There was a familiarity with almost the old claymation stories. Like there was something about it. I can't put my finger on it that just reminded me of things from the past. But yet it was kind of magical, and it was interesting. That whole scene.
The calm before the storm.
Yes, because then again, we forgot Baby Yoda's Lunchable. Yeah, Baby Yoda definitely has a Star Wars Lunchable in this episode and eats it. So that was pretty fun.
Salacious Rum, you're too much.
What is he? Should I put it on?
Sure.
I thought that was Mike Mando in for Jacuzzi. We were all scared that was going to happen.
Yeah, I trust Mando more than to go for that. But.
So Natalie, everyone's saying the Thing, or here, Michael Campbell, everyone
like that. No,
everyone's saying the Thing movie. That's what this cave scene reminded them of.
You know, I was watching somebody. I didn't know which movie it was, but somebody had said that it was kind of maybe inspired, to put it kindly, by something in another movie, that it was very similar. So yeah, I'm definitely going to check that one out.
Yeah, because then of course Baby Yoda, after he's already had his frog eggs and his Star Wars Lunchable, he then goes just straight for the egg, and you were like, oh gosh, like,
because it was gooey and you could tell there was maybe some legs in it, and then you kind of knew.
Yeah, you could tell that it was just straight up spider that he was eating, and you're like, Baby Yoda, like, no, come on, little guy, don't do this. But he eats it, and at which point they all start shaking, and Baby Yoda sprints back to Mando. And this just sets up, to me, such a fun, unique Star Wars scene. Them sprinting through this ice cave, and these spiders of all sizes. You've got little spiders, medium-sized spiders, this big spider chasing them, and him having to shoot them. Like someone said before, it felt very video game. In fact, I said on our podcast, it honestly, they should make a VR experience out of this scene, because that would be so much fun. Like you could get out a lot of aggression of shooting spiders.
Yeah.
Just taking them down.
As we said on the podcast, who doesn't want to shoot some spiders?
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes, definitely.
Adam, but he was hungry.
He was.
You know, you can't blame the little guy.
He was apparently hungry the whole episode.
Insatiable hunginess.
Yeah, it really was. And we've got another one saying definitely the Thing. We're gonna have to check this out, guys.
Definitely. I'm getting Michelle to watch it with me.
Yeah, is it scary? Am I gonna be scared by the Thing? But we need to check this out. And then Adam, you're in the chat. I already said that these spiders, they look just like the spiders in Rebel Season 3. Like their face, everything. That's what it totally looked like. And it was so Dave Filoni, in my opinion, with these spiders that were chasing them.
Yes.
But it was, I
was just to say Salacious Rum. I think I'd also heard that the scene was like Aliens, which I haven't seen. I have heard that too.
I feel like we're going to lose our nerd card if we've not seen Aliens. It just seems like a classic that sadly we've not watched.
We need to make a to-watch list.
Yes, I think we're going to have to watch both of those movies. Yes, and someone said, and that is true, most of Mando is like it really does almost play out like even the first season, how he would go on missions and get more armor, get more weapons. It was kind of video game like for Mando.
You know, I'm not a video game player. The Thing scared me as a kid.
Oh,
Michelle,
well,
you'll probably be scared. I'll be fine.
I should be fine as an adult.
But you know, this might be unpopular, but I think that sequence with the spiders and onto the ship, and I think it was one of my favorite sequences that I've seen in Star Wars. I know, don't come for me, but I loved it. Like my daughter loved it, and I get it.
Yes, like it was so much fun, and them chasing them all the way into the ship. Like there was no safe place because the ship had been damaged, so they can come right through the holes. And then them even get up to the cockpit, And it was you felt so much for little Baby Yoda when the spider gets on his head.
And he was clearly upset. I know I would be.
Yeah, I would be very upset. Like, oh, and for starters too.
You guys should see Michelle when she thinks of Bugs on her.
Yeah, it's maybe a little more dramatic than Baby Yoda. I'm gonna be honest about that. it's pretty dramatic. But yes, it was just so horrifying seeing them run through and being chased.
And very Jurassic Park. Mark Shabby Chic.
Yes,
we
said
that too. Yeah, we thought it had that.
It was because that just like running from this massive creature that could get you.
But it was exciting.
It was exciting.
Very exciting to the viewer.
It was. I was watching this. I got up around 7:00, and I literally got up out of my chair and just stood like to finish off this chase.
And it's like we said, they're going to be fine, but it's just it's good to add in that excitement and that like, oh gosh, how are they going to get out of this one? It's fun as the viewer.
It was, and as we said, it was unique. We haven't seen very often in live action them running from massive creatures.
Yes.
I think the only case I can kind of say would be episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan and them are in the arena and they have those big creatures, obviously. But even that is still very different from the way that they did this episode.
Somehow felt scarier than that.
It did.
It was more intense.
It was Jurassic Park like run, like that's what you felt kind of watching this,
right? Or in the case of Mrs. Frog, leap.
Yeah, leap. Yeah, she was leaping, running through there. And did you guys? I was a little bit shocked.
Mando needs a big can of Raid.
He does. That's a good.
He might want to add that to the ammunitions.
Yeah. Now instead, he's got on the other one. He's got fire. He's got fire on one. He's got Raid on the other. He's like,
not a bad idea.
I think that would be a nice thing to add to his weaponry. I think definitely. But were you guys? I was a little shocked. I was kind of expecting Baby Yoda to pull out the Force.
I kind of was too. Yeah, when things got really intense there.
Like I was kind of expecting him to maybe deal with the big spider somehow, like using the Force or something. And of course, then they get
Stranger Things style, just like
like I love it, straight up 11. I could see that, but then of course the frog lady shoots the frogs. Fortunately for little Baby Yoda, off of his head, and it was creepy. Oh, what I was gonna say is I think why this scene works for us too. I don't know if you guys saw I think it was on Twitter, they recently, someone dressed up their dog in a giant spider costume and let him loose, and people were sprinting in a dead, like just total fear.
Well, it's one of the, like, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the top 10 human fears. Like, we just have this innate, like, some people like them and that's their thing. More power to you. I'm not one of them.
Hey guys, you don't ever have to say sorry for being late.
We're just glad you're here.
Yeah, happy to have you. Yeah, it was, but the spider scene was scary. I mean, not scary like that way, but it was intense.
It had a good intensity to it.
It did. And of course, that big spider, and it put a hole through like their...
Yeah, I told Michelle, it's almost like his legs were like made out of icicles. Like, very cool, like, I mean, gross, but cool.
It was. And then you're kind of thinking, well, how are they going to... That's when I thought, well, Baby Yoda's going to use the Force. But then, of course, those X-Wing pilots, with Dave Filoni being one of them, they show up and begin to blast all these creatures. And of course, they end up letting Mando go, because even though he's done some bad things, he's done some good things. But the one thing is, it was kind of like, you guys just going to leave him there? Like, really?
Just going to leave him stranded to die? Like, not help him with the enormous spider on his already messed up ship? Like,
yeah. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And see you, Adam. Yes. Yes. Praying for your dad too. So yes. So thanks for stopping by, Adam. But yeah, it was like, you guys just gonna leave him there? Like, he could just die. He could just freeze to death down there. Three people. But they left him. They're like, peace out.
As I said in our podcast, in the words of Dr. Evil, throw me a freaking bone.
I mean, that's what Mando had to be feeling. He was like, really? That's you're just gonna do that? And then let's be real. It's such a cute shot when Mando is outside kind of piecing together, fixing the ship, and little Baby Yoda puts his hands on the frosted windows and just looks out at him.
It is so cute. And somebody just mentioned something that we had said in the podcast. May the force be with you. Oh, you're saying that.
Oh,
okay,
to
I
Adam.
just realized that.
Oh,
But
that's funny. Bring that up.
It did remind me of when he's kind of being stopped by the X-Wings. And he's like, may the force be with you. It was just kind of funny because, he's not really into that, but he just thought like, that's what they want to hear. And, kind of get them off of me.
Yeah.
It was just kind of cute to hear him say it.
It was his way in Han Solo's words of flying casually.
Right.
May the force be with you.
Yeah.
And may it be with you. What are you reading? Sharks with freaking lasers. Yes, we've got another Austin Powers fan here. They had sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads.
That line gets me every time.
This is pretty good. I've spoken, and this.
And
is
Mark, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I got it. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
We quote lots of movies when we talk. We are basically an encyclopedia of different movie quotes
that just come out.
That come out randomly at any time. Nothing's off. We can go anywhere with it. Definitely. So, yeah, but that was a cute scene. And yeah, like you said, I thought that was interesting that clearly Mando, it's very common to say, may the force be with you. Because Mando clearly doesn't understand what the Force is, because he's very intrigued with what Baby Yoda's done, but in his mind,
he's not like truly a believer yet.
But he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
So he's not connecting. He's knows this phrase, "May the Force be with you," but he doesn't connect it with what Baby Yoda is doing.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting when someone can fully explain to him the Force.
Yes.
Which I would say most definitely in this season, they will explain to Mando what the Force is. And I would say maybe Ahsoka, maybe she does it, but
yeah.
So we'll see.
Awesome.
So of course we now see that shot we got in the trailer of them finally going off and their ship is so damaged. So I'm sure when they park in the next episode that will have to get fixed some. But then also the final shot just cracked me up where Baby Yoda, Mando goes back to lay back and go to sleep. And Baby Yoda looks at the woman and she kind of like grabs her eggs, like, I see you. I see what you're doing. And then Baby Yoda, you think like he's caught and no more. And nope, he turns around and just one more egg. It was like, oh gosh, Baby Yoda and those eggs. He loves them.
Gotta love that little stinker.
Yeah, gosh, Natalie said that. I was like, really? Thank you, Rural Farm Boy. And he may have force powers. Are you saying, Michael, are you saying Mando may have force powers or Baby Yoda? Who are you saying there? He's saying Austin force powers.
Yes.
I think he definitely
Austin Powers all over.
I think he definitely has some force powers. I want my baby back. And now we're in Austin Power 2. I mean,
I eat because I'm fat.
What is it? What? No, I eat because I'm depressed, and I'm depressed because I'm fat, or something like that. Yeah, it was.
We've all been there.
Let's see. So chapter 3, we start with Razor Crest drifting. Yeah, definitely it could. And obviously they're going to take this woman to the planet where her husband is, so she can get those eggs fertilized.
And I will say, fortunately, there were plenty of them.
Yes,
because I think we all felt for her when we heard her story when she very smartly used the droid to speak to Mando.
And Michael's saying Mando, so that's interesting.
Or maybe force sensitive, or I mean, I don't rule anything out.
Yeah, I don't rule anything out. But I think he'll definitely be at some point in this season, they will explain to him what the Force is, and he'll get it. Like at that point, he'll understand what he's seen with Baby Yoda, or the child. If you want to be correct on that, the title of but let's be real, we like calling him Baby Yoda.
He's Baby Yoda.
It's more fun.
It is what it is.
But I think that, and then so now we'll that's this episode. Since The Mandalorian, unfortunately, does not give us next week on The Mandalorian, we decided that at the end of every kind of recap and discussion, we will give you what we think will happen next week.
We will have our maybe next week on The Mandalorian.
Yeah, so now we move into our maybe next week on The Mandalorian
Maybe not.
segment. Maybe not.
You decide.
so next week, what do you guys think is going to happen? And hello to Josh from A Certain Point of View.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Okay, so that fits into what
Yes.
we're talking about. So it does seem that Sasha Banks' character will be in next week's episode because
I hope so.
it seems that next week's episode will be the one that we see them on the boat.
Yes.
Which is where we see Sasha Banks' character, it looked like in that episode.
Okay, and my prediction, and I don't know like what this involves, but I think episode 3 or chapter 11, I guess we'll say, I think it is going to start to pick up action-wise and like bring more people in. I think at this point it's going to next week.
Yes, I think these first 2 episodes were very fun and kind of establishing again Baby Yoda and Mando, what the mission is. And I think next week, I feel like it's about to really take off.
Like pick up.
Like
yeah.
They're about to go, guys, into light speed.
Right.
And it's about
we've been coasting, but we're about to hit that light speed.
Yeah, we've been like in this chapter where he couldn't go into light speed. That's where we've been, but we're about to shoot. It's about to hit it, and they're about to go, I believe.
Hold on to your seats, guys.
Yeah, hold on. And so I think next week we will begin. Here's my prediction. I believe we're going to see Sasha Banks' character. And who is Sasha Banks' character, guys? Some believe she's Sabine Wren. I'm a little skeptical on that theory at this moment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe not. We'll see. But who is her character? Do you guys think they will find a Mandalorian in episode 3? I think they will. It's just which one?
Right.
Would it be one we know, like Sabine Wren or Bo-Katan? Who
could
he or
she be helpful?
Yes.
I'd
say that. I'd say they will be. So who will that be? And then I also have a prediction. I believe that Baby Yoda in chapter, well, actually it would be chapter 11, but episode 3 of season 2. I believe we're going to see some Force use from Baby Yoda in this next episode.
I think it would be nice pacing. I think it's time. We would like to see that.
Yes. Let's see. And Mark Shabby, let's see. So you believe that, or you believe we will see Sabine, Mark, or do you believe Sasha Banks is Sabine, which would be both to that answer? So do you think Sasha Banks is Sabine, or you'll just see Sabine in the next episode? But I think, let's see. Michael says Ahsoka should be in the next episode.
I mean, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I feel like she'll be used a little further down. I feel like they're going to allow the season to truly build up to something.
So it'll be like a wow moment.
Yes, I think so. I mean, maybe. Let's be real. Chapter 3 of the first season was my favorite episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
So I just kind of feel like chapter 3 is about to be great. Let's see. Josh says, I would love for it to be Sabine, but I'm going to keep my expectations in check so I'm not disappointed. Yeah, that's the thing.
That helps.
That does. True. It's kind of, yeah, I understand.
I do that myself, that tactic.
Okay, so Mark believes Sasha Banks is Sabine. So we'll see. And I believe you're saying, Blue Harvest, that you think Ahsoka will show up in episode 5. I know that's a rumor. Let's see. I'm going to go into chapter 11 with no expectations. Yeah, I do have some expectations, and it's this. I expect the show to be good. I do. It's not proven. It's been good every single week. So I think it will be good. And they're continuing with the Ahsoka theory. I know a lot of people think Ahsoka will show up in episode 5 because Dave Filoni is the director. And I think he's the writer too of episode 5. But if that is the case, that's why it really does make sense.
And speaking of, nice little appearance of him in this
it was
episode.
Yeah, him. We should see Baby Yoda the lightsaber talking. Baby Yoda's beginning to make more sounds.
Yeah, did you guys notice? It's almost like he was trying to talk. So that was interesting to see where that goes.
And now just seeing Blue Heart says the child is going to speak. I think he will at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's see, where was I going with that? Oh, back to this comment. We should see Baby Yoda lightsaber and talking. I believe that because we already have Juan Carlos Esposito, who has said that Baby Yoda is very intrigued with the Darksaber. That was what he said in that interview. Now, after seeing the way Baby Yoda acts about these eggs, I can only see what that little guy is going to think about the Darksaber.
Hopefully he won't try to eat it.
I don't think he'll try to eat it, but I think he'll be like, "Ooh,"
Yeah.
like he'll be really fascinated.
He gets fascinated, as children do.
Yeah, like it's true. I mean, have you ever watched a baby with a paddle fan?
Yeah. That's just my daughter. She would look up so fascinated when she was a baby.
Don't you guys wish you got so easily entertained as you did when you were kids?
Or like when the wind blew in her face as a baby, she would smile and laugh.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish I got that entertained. Let's see. You know, I honestly would not be surprised with Dave Filoni if there's wolves, because that man loves some wolves. I mean,
I didn't know that.
He's almost like the redneck that wears the wolf t-shirt.
I love it.
Like, that's like Dave.
Like the cut off sleeves.
That's like clearly Dave Filoni's spirit animal. Like, he loves wolves. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's some wolves.
The wolf howling.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Josh says the same thing. Filoni loves wolves. He loves wolves. I don't understand them, but he loves them. Let's see. He'll trap a wolf in this episode.
I like that, Mark. I like to think that. I like to keep the mind of a child.
Yes, and we all do that. I think Dave Filoni's done that well.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we do this. It's called YouTube. It really is. It's our place where we spit off all these things that we imagine that we think could happen. It's a lot of fun.
Never lose your imagination, everybody.
No, never lose your imagination. So yeah, guys, anything else that you guys think that you may see in the next episode?
Growing up is totally overrated, by the way. You're right.
It is overrated. Sometimes you just gotta be like a child. Michael believes Captain Rex could show up. I know that's definitely a theory, and I think it's possible since you have the actor who plays, of course, Jango Fett, which is the clone. So I think you can do that if you want to. And do you guys have a theory? Why does Boba Fett not have any eyebrows? Like, as a woman, that was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, where have all his eyebrows gone?
We're also human jukeboxes, by the way. You probably don't know that. Got many songs stored in here for random moments. But
I mean, those eyebrows, they were gone.
That's a look for some people. Very editorial. I like mine, but hey.
Let's see. Flashback to Anakin Kenobi, Ahsoka coming. Yeah. Flashback to Anakin. I think I definitely think Ahsoka's coming.
Yes.
So that will be interesting. And someone said on Twitter, and I don't know who it was, but I feel like this would be he pencils them in when he goes on date night. He does, definitely, for sure. You know what, Blue Harvest? I said this on our podcast that maybe the acid from the Sarlacc removed the eyebrows. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, he's become great at sketching in those eyebrows.
He is. And someone said this on Twitter, and I was like, that is a great idea. There is an easy way. Of course, we immediately began to call the child Baby Yoda from day one. There is a way for them to make Baby Yoda, that name, Star Wars canon.
Yeah.
Because they said when Ahsoka sees the child, would it not be funny if she says, he looks like a Baby Yoda?
Yes. That's perfect.
And that would be such an easy way to make canon the title Baby Yoda.
And Michelle, remind me, I think you would even correct me when I first started watching the show. I'd say Baby Yoda, and you'd say, well, actually, it's Yoda Baby. And, and I think people are saying that was the correct way, but I'm like, it just doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. Like, it's just Baby Yoda sounds the best.
Yeah, it does. It just kind of sings off the tongue. I mean, it's just good.
No hair at all. Yeah, you got a point.
He's now hairless.
He's totally hairless.
Basically, the
like
Sarlacc pit,
cat.
If you guys, instead of going to get, things wax removal, you can just be put in the Sarlacc pit and it will do it for you.
Just take it all off.
Yeah, it will just remove all the hair, the unwanted hair that you don't have. Josh saying, great theory. And yes, that would be awesome. I think they should make it, I think it would just be one of those fun nods. it would be a way of almost saying to the fans, like, we hear you,
Yeah.
and this show really is like for you.
Right.
And I don't mean that in a way of just giving us everything we want. But again, we have recently in October, we had discussed Stranger Things season 1 and 2. And one of the things that I said about season 2 of Stranger Things, and really season 3, if you want to keep going, is that the Duffer Brothers know how to give the fans not only what we want, but what we didn't know we need.
It's true.
And it's like they're always one step ahead of us
Yeah.
of giving us what we don't even know we need, but we need it.
And we love it.
And we love it. And I kind of think that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, I feel like they're on that level. I feel like they know how to give the fans what we want, but also what we don't know we need. So
Yes.
I think we're going to see some stuff that
They're already there.
yeah, I mean, we're just continue with the songs today. Now she went country,
Which I rarely do.
I don't know what
I don't know
she's
where that
doing.
came from.
What else we got here? They're gonna call him Quill, yeah, in honor of Quill.
Aw, I did love Quill.
Yes. Do you know if baby boy or girl? They call him he. So
Yeah,
I
I just always thought he was a boy, and I could be wrong, but
and he looks like okay. Again, I've said this before, but guys, little girls don't eat frogs. I mean,
they really
that's
don't.
how we know he's a little boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
he loves the icky stuff.
yeah, little girls don't pick up spiders.
No,
So I'm going with he's all boy.
as they say, he's all boy.
I really think he is. So that's kind of what I'm saying with that. And he's a boy. It's been said in the show. Yeah, I think he's a boy. Definitely. And as Natalie said, he's a little stinker.
He's a little stinker.
No one says that, by the way.
Cutest little stinker I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's retire that. So I think
I'm bringing it back.
So I think in the chat, I think we all agree we're going to see a Mandalorian next episode. We may see some Baby Yoda force power action, and we're probably going to see Ahsoka in Chapter 5. I think that's where we're leaning right now. And yeah, so I mean, unless you guys want to keep talking, I think that's kind of it as far as what we think about this episode and what we think is going to happen next episode.
Already can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. Let's see.
Not my little girls. Hey, there are always exceptions. I was thinking that as I said it.
There are.
I mean, Michelle was a
yeah. Well, I
She's-
was a tomboy to the max.
yeah, I know you don't like that word, but to the max.
I was.
And I was the opposite, so we were total opposites.
Yes, but he just has that. He just looks like a little boy to me. So
He does.
we'll see. But guys, thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys have made this so much fun watching you guys. Here we got Salacious going with that with his different thoughts there. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in for the chat and making this so much fun. This discussion of Chapter 11 or Chapter 10, The Passenger, and what could be in Chapter 11 of The Mandalorian.
You know, sometimes this chat reminds me, honestly, it's like when you think something's going wrong and you're disappointed, and then we decide we do this chat today. It's like, thank goodness, because you guys made it so much more awesome than
Yes.
if we were just recording just the two of us. Like, we love you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you. We have several of you guys from England and from different countries, and we appreciate you guys
Yes, we
for
do.
showing up.
We love it.
Yes, we do love it. And it's so awesome for those of you who are living that are in the UK.
Yeah.
It's so fun that we get to watch at the same time this year.
yeah.
Because of course, the UK didn't get it till like when? February or March of this year?
That's true.
It kind of stunk. I mean, it stunk. I mean, I know you guys pirated it, but now you get to officially watch it with us.
Yes.
So
Be on the same page.
yeah, so much fun, and thank you guys for saying a great discussion. You
Thank
guys have
you.
made this a fun and great discussion.
Okay, this has been an awesome chat.
It has. Thank you guys so much, and may the force be with you all. And so that is it for this episode of Force of Light Entertainment. If you have not yet, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and also share our channel with someone that you think would enjoy Force of Light Entertainment.
The crazy ladies of Force of Light Entertainment.
Yes, we always have fun, guys. So
We
share and give the video a thumbs up if you have not yet. And I can't wait. We will be back discussing chapter 11 next week. So
Can't wait.
yes, so that is it. remember that this is the way and join the conversation. And again, we will check you guys. We will see you guys next time. All right.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Bye.